raising women.
It's got nothing. It's not raising women.
It is.
The rest of Nike's Instagram feed are all cis white women, or just all cis women in general.
Hey! Do not come into the studio and call me a cis woman. Otherwise, I would
call you a cis woman.
Cis women, do not use that term. Otherwise, I will eject you from the chair. A woman is a woman. I don't want to hear that again from your mouth.
All right, guys. So Anheuser-Busch / Bud Light is not the only company facing backlash for sponsoring transgender TikTok superstar Dylan Mulvaney. Okay, you have Nike, who also sponsored Dylan Mulvaney by having him wear women's clothing, even though he's biologically a man. Nike thought it would be a good idea to use a biological man to sponsor clothes for women. Again, interesting concept. But again, people are backlashing over this. Okay, they're mad about it because of the wokeness and virtue signaling coming from these companies who claim that they're trying to reach younger consumers. Okay, and this quite literally has the world talking about this, right? We have the UK here talking about this. It truly is a first world problem, right? Because other countries, like for example Uganda, they've already dealt with this issue, right? They've taken care of this. Okay, they nipped it in the bud, right? But again, countries like the United States and the UK and some parts of the West, yeah, we're having this fierce debate about so-called trans rights, okay? When the reality is that there's no right in the United States and probably the UK as well too, that transgender people don't have, right? But yet we're having this debate about transgender rights, and that has been kind of a dominating feature of the culture war. Now, again, these companies have decided to step into the culture war by endorsing this far-left agenda, and that has caused some backlash. It really has. And I want to respond to this segment here from some women who are on GB News. Okay, this is out of the UK, right? You have Nana Akua, who I believe hosts this show, where they're going to have a debate about Nike sponsoring Dylan Mulvaney, okay? And these women really aren't taking too kindly to the fact that Nike is hopping on this woke train. So, without further ado, I actually want to react to this because I thought that this was a very interesting debate. So let's get into it.
Lizzie, what do you think about this? Seriously, your thoughts on Dylan Mulvaney? She is a man.
Yes.
Wearing a bra, like a sports bra, promoting a sports bra, without any breasts, of course, because he's a man. She's a man, sorry.
Well, I'm absolutely appalled by this, and you know what? When I speak out, I'm made to feel I can't speak about this, and I'm proud to be a woman, which is an adult female. Just in case you.
Whoa! Hold on. Right, you're engaged in transphobia here, right? Because remember, the activists told us that if you are proud to be a woman or a biological woman, you're proud to be a biological man. Therefore, you are transphobic. Okay, I sense some transphobia going on here. If you're proud to be a woman. J.K. Rowling and Adele got a whole lot of backlash from the mob for making transphobic statements like that.
You're wondering, Sam. But I really seriously getting upset because I feel intimidated and silenced whenever I speak out about this issue. And this, to me, is absolutely wokeful nonsense, and that's what it is. As someone who grew up in awe of Nike as a big iconic brand, I think this is absolutely disgusting, and they're going to have a big backlash from this. And I'll be honest, I really think this is a money-making machine. They're using the trans community that should be treated with kind and understanding, but using them as a way to promote themselves, just as Nicola Sturgeon did, using them as a political football. And it's not on, and it's disrespectful for women. And you know what? I've really had enough of it.
I've had enough of it.
Yeah, so here's the thing. She's right about being a woman and being afraid to speak out or to say something. And I used to be more critical of women who didn't do it, right? Who didn't speak out. But I realized that this is probably more of a man's job, right? When it comes to this situation right here, because look what happened to Riley Gaines, right? Riley Gaines spoke out. She is speaking out. And she was basically ambushed, almost kidnapped by a mob of woke radicals who didn't like the fact that she was advocating to save women's sports on their college campus, okay? I mean, this woman was almost seriously hurt simply for speaking out as a woman. So now, seeing that, I don't really blame women who don't want to speak out, who don't want to say anything, because what happens to them is devastating. Okay, they get canceled. Again, they almost get ambushed. They get attacked. They get called all types of names. So I don't blame women who don't speak out, right? But I do believe that most women do feel this way. And I feel like a lot of people in the country feel this way. However, you can't say anything about it, because if you do, the backlash from the mob is going to be overwhelming, right? And we've seen that time and time and time again.
Raising women.
But to me, the way Dylan behaves in this video is a caricature of a woman anyway. It's all a bit, and it's like, well, hold on a minute. Sorry, that's actually taking the proverbial out of us. What do you think, Sam? I mean, you must be supportive.
Well, this is Dylan Mulvaney's brand. She is she's a comedian, an actress. Do you know what I mean? And I've worked with a lot of influencers. Brand partnerships like this are their bread and butter. Like, she did one with Bud Light last week, and then was slated for that. And Kid Rock did a video where he's shooting a case of Bud Light with an AK-47. I mean, like, this has nothing to do with her. It's not her problem. And I think and this is all that happens. Like, for example, I went on the GP News Instagram account this morning because Dan was talking about it this week with Sharon Davies, and underneath the comments were, he's a freak. Dylan Mulvaney is one of those people you'd gladly punch for nothing. That's an it, not a she. It's a thing. Like, listen to me. So it is. Whereas this person is a 26-year-old person, and they are trying to,
rich.
Well, rich. Well, they might be doing very well.
Are you about to make us supposedly feel sorry for this person?
No.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants us to do. He wants us to feel sorry for somebody that has made millions of dollars and has a whole lot of endorsements just simply because they're a biological man who woke up one day and said, hey, I'm a woman, right? And this is something where it's like, this is a very strange thing that I'm noticing, okay? That there is an overt effort from social media and the media to protect Dylan Mulvaney, even though I don't think Dylan Mulvaney really needs protecting. Again, he makes millions of dollars. I disagree with any types of calls to violence or anything like that, or anything like that at all. I disagree with that. I honestly really don't have a problem with Nike sponsoring the person. I have a problem with Nike sponsoring the person as a woman, right, to market to women, okay? It's one thing if Nike said, hey, look, this is our transgender spokesperson. We're going to go with Dylan Mulvaney. I mean, I can't really complain too much about that, right? Because at the end of the day, I mean, hey, it is what it is, okay? If they want to, market a transgender, what's the best way to do it? Is to have a transgender person. But when you use a biological man and you say, hey, we want to market women, yeah, I think that people have a problem with that, right? I think people have a problem with that. The thing is that I've noticed that anytime I talk about Dylan Mulvaney, there's a chance that my video could be demonetized by YouTube because they think it's hate speech, when I'm not saying anything hateful about the person. I simply just disagree with this idea that they should be celebrated because they're a woman. I simply disagree with that. So again, even I have to be careful talking about it because apparently, again, the powers that be don't really want you criticizing this person and by extension, the far left woke agenda, right? They don't want you criticizing, right? It's hate speech to do that. So, I mean, again, there's a lot of interesting things going on here behind the scenes in order to protect this individual that, in my opinion, doesn't need any more protection than somebody like, again, for example, myself, who has opinions that people don't agree with, or, a Ben Shapiro or Matt Walsh or whatever. Like, bruh, I mean, people are going to face criticism, okay? But criticism is not hate. Criticism is simply just criticism. And I think people have the right to criticize people regardless of their sexual orientation or their gender identity, right? These people claim they believe in equality until it comes to stuff like this, in which they don't really want equality. They want, special rights and privileges.
What I'm saying, this is a trans person wearing leggings. Everybody needs to calm the hell down.
Sam, have you watched it?
Sam,
yes, of course I've watched all of it.
It's not a trans person wearing leggings. It is a trans person mimicking, caricaturing a woman.
That's what she does in her videos.
Promoting bras, sports bras for women.
And as a woman, I find it
does-
so disrespectful, Sam.
all
I
she
find
ever
it so
does-
and why are you sticking up?
How is it
for
disrespectful?
Dylan? It's offending women.
She has 12 million.
I don't
She has 12
care.
million followers, most of who are women who will buy this because she's been wearing it.
I don't care
That's
how
what
many
Nike
followers
see. They see 12 million followers, and they want. And all she does is talk about positivity and fun and laughter, and that's what Nike want to get
it's
into.
outrageous.
Yeah, and here's the thing about that. That's all fine and good, right? But we gotta understand that this person is a political figure promoting an agenda that a lot of people just simply disagree with, right? And I think that women in general are offended by the fact that this person is getting all of these sponsorships, all of this attention, simply from acting like what he believes a woman is. Okay, now I don't know. I mean, this person's kind of been acting this way, all his life, so it seems. Okay, he's always been, a flamboyant individual, but it is at the point now where it's just really over the top. And I think a lot of people, a lot of women in general, probably don't appreciate the fact that Nike is trying to market to them using a biological male who, again, acts in a way that is kind of like stereotypical of this, character of a woman, or what a woman is, or how women are supposed to act. Again, I can see why women would be offended by this, right? And I think that women that are offended by this shouldn't be called bigoted, right? Because they're saying, look, I don't think this is a good way to market to me. But hey, again, apparently in 2023, any criticisms of, certain people or a movement is hate speech, apparently.
Raising women.
It's got nothing. It's not raising women.
It is.
The rest of Nike's Instagram feed are all cis white women, or just cis women in general.
Hey, do not come into the studio and call me a cis woman. Otherwise, I would
call you a cis woman.
Cis women, do not use that term. Otherwise, I will eject you from the chair. A woman is a woman. I don't want to hear that again from your mouth.
Yes, that is what the rest of their feed is. So it's nothing to do with it's something to do with her. It's like, it's not her decision. It's Nike's decision, and she's just doing her job. So I mean, I think the attacks that she's had for it.
She looks like she's taking the total Mickey out of a woman. Have you seen her prancing and acting the way she is on that post?
She's a comedian.
Well, I don't find it funny.
That's what her videos are.
I don't find it funny.
Yeah. So, as you can see there, this woman was like, "Hey, don't call me cis," right? Don't call me cis, which is something, again, I feel like a lot of women feel like, why are you trying to place this qualifier on who I am, right? By saying, hey, you're cis. Okay, that's not necessary for the original. Okay, that shouldn't be necessary. But this person's saying, look, it's not a big deal. It's no big deal. Women aren't being erased. And look, man, here's the thing. Everybody knows how this goes, right? We know how the woke agenda works. You give them an inch, they take a whole mile, right? It starts with, oh, well, it's just 1 or 2 advertisement sponsorships, whatever, no big deal. Until, 5 years from now, the woke activists basically demand that, hey, 50%, okay, or at least half of all sponsorships or all commercials with women must feature a trans woman, right? You know how they do with diversity, equity, and inclusion, where they basically say, hey, all these workplaces have to be less white. That's exactly what's going to happen with this movement, right? The gender agenda. What's going to happen is that they're going to say, look, these places have to be less cis, right? Less cis. That means you must have transgender women or transgender men in place of biological men or biological women, or you're bigoted. Right? That's what's about to happen. That's where it's going to go. Okay? And again, unfortunately, I wish it was one of those things where we could comfortably say, okay, well, hey, it's just one endorsement. It's just one thing, whatever, right? Don't worry about it. No big deal. It's not, going to go any further than this. It's something that we'll see once every blue moon. But no. What's happening is that we see it all the time. It is taking over. And we know that these people never think enough is enough, because being oppressed is currency, right? Being a victim is currency. And as long as they're oppressed and victimized, they can accumulate more power and more money, right? It's really that simple. That is why this is a big deal, right? That is why when you see all these companies jumping on this woke train, that's something to be concerned about, because it never stops, right? It's not going to stop with them just, giving out 1 or 2 endorsements to some woke activist or individual. No. Eventually, it's going to be all of that, right? All of Nike's women that they sponsor, half of them are at least gonna be trans, right? That's what's gonna happen.
Wait
out of context.
Wait a minute. Whether she's a comedian or not, the point is that Nike are using a biological man to promote something that is really a properly female product.
Fact.
And what does that say to the other amazing female athletes that they could have selected, like Riley Gaines and people like that, who, whilst Nike obviously don't mean to cause any offence, but the backlash is, you saw the video of what happened to Riley Gaines. Yeah. She was chased out of this after doing a speech.
Well, I don't know what the context was for that, but
you see, the problem with it is that it promotes and it reinforces this kind of thing, and that's the problem for women.
Facts. It is a problem. It is. Why is Nike not sponsoring Riley Gaines, right? An actual athlete, an actual woman. So again, when people say, "Oh, well, it's just one sponsorship," blah blah blah. Yeah, well, that's a sponsorship that could have went to somebody else, right? That was more deserving of that type of sponsorship. Again, a Riley Gaines type of figure, who's really fighting for women's rights. Again, Dylan. Hey, I can understand a makeup sponsorship. I can get that. I understand that. But he's not an athlete, right? He's not an athlete, so I don't really get that one, right? I don't get that one.
And it's the biggest sports brand in the world. This is so wrong.
But she's not. You've already basically so many laws have already been passed. Like various different sporting bodies, as Sharon Davis was talking about, where trans people aren't allowed to compete. So now you're saying that they're not allowed to wear women's sportswear either.
No,
so they can't compete or wear women's sportswear.
No, that's not what's been said.
It sounds like it.
You're putting words into my mouth. You're not a ventriloquist.
So tell me what it is. Should they just be erased altogether?
I'll tell you what's being said here. You do not need to use a trans woman to promote bras for women, because women could promote that themselves, and they don't need somebody who is not a woman to promote that, especially when
they want to gain access to her followers who love
It's
her
offensive
brand.
to women, and it's trying to erase women.
Well, we'll see.
It isn't fair.
We'll see whether it works for them. But if you just join us, welcome on board. This is GB News.
Yeah. So we will see. I mean, who knows? I mean, these companies continue to double down on this woke agenda because, again, they believe that this is how you reach young kids. This is investment into the future. You have to get on board with this agenda. So, yeah, we will see if it actually works. But in the meantime, you do have a lot of women that are, offended by this and that, aren't, finding this marketing from Nike to be effective in regards to convincing them to buy more of their product. So, I don't know. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.